This is the Seller Process Podcast, where we talk about the best systems, processes, and SOPs for your Amazon business so that you can regain control of your time, build up your team, and scale your e-com empire.
Welcome, entrepreneurs. Gianmarco here in a new episode of the Seller Process Podcast. I'm excited about today's episode because we'll go deep into an advanced ranking techniques, and we'll also share some tips to position yourself at the very best to dominate Q4 on Amazon. And to share these powerful techniques, we brought to the mic Michelle Barnum Smith. Michelle is the queen of Amazon chatbots and CEO of EasyBot.com. She has launched thousands of products and trained thousands of Amazon sellers on how to use chat marketing to build their brands, launch products, improve their rankings, and increase their reviews on Amazon. Welcome, Michelle. Glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So guys, one quick reminder before we jump right in. So because we value your time and we want to keep this short and sweet, we're going to save you all the talks about how important it is to be on page one on Amazon, on how majority of purchases happen on top of search results, etc. So we assume that you already know that, okay? So we can focus on more advanced stuff. All right, so without further ado, Michelle, tell us your formula. Where do we start to position ourselves for Q4 success?
Yeah, I mean, everything starts with your current keyword strategy and the keywords that you are currently positioned for. So just like you said, it's important to be on page one. So if you are not on page one for your main keywords, for your target keywords, then we have a problem, right? And what I like to do is do a reverse ASIN lookup on my existing listings and find out, do kind of a ranking audit, basically, and find out what is going on with my current keyword positioning. Am I missing out on some significant opportunities? Am I going after the wrong size volume of keywords? Where am I at in this range? And the first thing that I like to look at, and the first strategy I like to use is what I call the low-hanging fruit method, which is basically looking at any keywords where I'm positioned 21 and beyond, and basically filtering my keywords based on that and looking for high volume search terms where I'm off page one, because once again, that's where the game is played, is page one. And that's why I call it low hanging fruit, because it's a lot easier to get from page 2, page 3, page 5 to page 1 than it is to get from the bottom of page 1 to the top of page 1. Now, that's another strategy, is to look at what keywords are you currently ranked for that I call are below the fold, where you're sorting your search terms based on position, basically position 11 to 20. And seeing, okay, what search terms am I in the bottom of page 1 for that I can move to the top of page 1? Because 64% of clicks go to the top 3 positions on Amazon. So you really want to not just be on page 1, but also be on the top of page 1. And we know that there's really limited positions and opportunity. And so things get very competitive very quickly. So you have to kind of identify what are those search terms that you either are off page 1 for, or are sitting at the bottom page 1 that you need to boost up to the top. So that's really kind of the first place that you start, is identifying the keywords that you want to run ranking campaigns and better position yourself for the holiday season.
Awesome. Okay. So these are two methods: the low-hanging fruits and below the fold, in order to find the keywords that you can rank for and you can target. What about the specific keywords for Q4? I know you have like a very special technique that you told me about during our pre-interview chat. So that's really valuable. I'd love you to share with people here.
Yeah. So this time of year is like a big opportunity around gifting keywords. This strategy might not apply any other time of year to your listing, but this time of year is obviously the big time that people are looking for gifts. And it's really important to go after gift keywords that are relevant for your product. And I say the niches are in the riches. So it's really easy to think like, oh, I just need to rank for Christmas gifts or gifts for men or gifts for women. Those are crazy high volume search terms, but they also are the type of search terms that attract shoppers, not buyers. They're people who search on those search terms are looking for inspiration on what to get their wife, what to get their mother-in-law, like they're just scrolling through in desperation, trying to find something, anything that catches their attention and meets their budget, right? What happens is if you try to rank for those search terms, it's going to cost you a whole lot of money because those are very, very expensive, high search volume keywords. And I hate to see you waste money and effort on that. The second thing is while you can rank, given enough time and money and inventory, sticking the rank is very difficult because because people are looking for inspiration, they're not buyers, they're just shoppers. There's not a high buying intent. And so what I want people to do is find and focus on niche gifting keywords. So barbecue gifts for men, beauty gifts for women. What does your niche, what is your product, what niche and niche keywords does your product speak to? And then search for those types of keywords in your keyword research. Also, gifts by age group. So like if you have a Christmas gift that's great for a girl, well, be specific about the age range that gift should be for. So for example, gifts for girls 5 to 7 years old, that kind of a thing. Because if somebody just types in, if a mother like me types in gifts for girls, well, guess what? I'm going to have gifts for toddler girls. I'm going to have gifts for teenage girls. You really want to get specific on those ages as well. So those are kind of the idea of researching gifting keywords. Now, be careful in your filtering of results this time of year because if you're doing it before I guess end of November, those keywords and their search volume are going to be super low. And so you might be filtering through search results and be like, oh man, barbecue gifts, it's only like 3,000 monthly searches. Well, guess what? Between Black Friday and Christmas, those search terms jump up to over 100,000 monthly searches. So if you're judging a keyword in October by its search volume, you really need to look at historical data on those and see which one of these, what does it pop up to during the actual the fierce holiday buying season, which Amazon actually calls Q5. Q5 for Amazon is Black Friday to the shipping deadline for Christmas, actually. So those are kind of like the kind of main like juicy keyword strategies. And the first two you can use any time of year, right? Those, I think you should do those kind of keyword ranking audits like quarterly. But the gifting keyword, those are specifically around the holiday in Q4 season.
Totally. Yeah, that's a really golden tip, I would say, because that can really make the difference in your Q4 and Q5 as well. Yeah, so because I guess most people are actually not really doing a keyword research based on seasonality. Most of people. So actually, ranking on page 1 on a big keyword like gifts for women or some very long tail keyword that it's more specific to your product, can really make the difference, can really double or triple your sales in those like couple of months, or end of November, December. So that's really, really important. So guys, focus on long tail keywords, look at historical data in order to not be fooled by the low search volumes that you will see before the season starts.
Those I call those keywords are like on sale. Like you can rank for super cheap when you're going after those niche keywords that are like, they're low search volume right now, but they are going to spike. And so doing those ranking campaigns now will cost you less and will be like super effective as you head into the spike of search volume.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a great tip, great strategy. So you guys should start now. So yes, before the holiday starts. So timing, it's really important on this strategy.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So now let's say we have found these three groups of keywords, the low-hanging fruits, the ones that we are in on page 1 or page 2, and these gifting keywords. So now let's dive deep into the ranking strategy. So what do we do? How do we start? Because now we have all these ready to go keywords. We're excited. So
how do we drive traffic to it? Yeah, exactly. Well, unless you've been living under a rock, the buzzword of the, I guess, season is external traffic. And Amazon loves external traffic. They will pay you to drive external traffic, right? Google ads, Facebook, Instagram influencers, TikTok influencers, all these things. And the reality is that all you need is to connect and drive Facebook ad traffic through a chatbot and chatbots doing a number of campaigns. We could talk about that in a second. And then driving those subscribers to your chatbot to your Amazon listing to purchase. And that is essentially how the whole ranking process works. You don't have to learn a new ad platform. You don't have to become some expert in recruiting influencers who will not give you the time of day this time of year anyway, because they are very busy with the big brands that if they're working with. So that's really kind of the process, is using Facebook ads with chatbots to drive traffic via those keywords to your listings for that ranking benefit and that ranking purpose.
All right. Okay. Sounds great. So let's start to dissect this process.
Yeah.
So the step 1 you said is to drive to create basically the Facebook ad, right? So how does that look like? What should we be aware of?
So one of the things that's really important to know is that we never want to drive traffic directly from Facebook to Amazon, primarily because Amazon is a black hole with external traffic. Even though you can create Amazon attribution links and things like that, Amazon does not share data back with advertising platforms like Facebook. Or even Google for that matter. They don't care about the Facebook pixel. They don't care about Google Analytics. They're just in it for the data themselves. And they don't share that data back, which means that the ad platforms cannot automatically, basically improve your campaigns. Your campaign numbers are going to be like, you're just going to have a lot of questions, be like, well, did it work? I'm spending all this money, what's happening? Like those kinds of questions. And your costs are going to be higher and all of that stuff that we don't like, right? And you have no idea who actually clicked on the ad and went to your listing. Did they buy? Did they not? We don't know. And so why I like chatbots is because you can drive that Facebook ad traffic and to people becoming subscribers to your Facebook Messenger account. You can get them as their email information, their SMS information. You know that Michelle clicked on your ad and that Michelle went and bought your product, right? Which means you can then also follow up with Michelle and ask her for a review, right? So it's this like full kind of life cycle, and why I'm passionate about you not wasting your precious ad dollars on the black hole of just driving straight traffic to Amazon. We always want that to be concentrated through keywords, and also if we can build a list at the same time and get people and their information in multiple channels, we can follow up with them, not just on their original purchase, but for future purchases as well, future launches, future campaigns. So if you can't tell, I'm like really passionate about this because I see how effective it is in the short term as well as the long term. If any of you guys are thinking about exiting, having a list and having a launch process is extremely valuable and extremely valued by those aggregators, those brokers, those buyers out there, so that they can just lather, rinse, repeat, just kind of keep on doing what you've been doing to be successful. So I know that I didn't answer your question directly. We can get to that. But first and foremost, I want you guys to understand that this is not just driving traffic directly to Amazon.
All right. So how this actually, it's different from the the search, find, buy, let's say, common. I mean, most people, I guess, know about the launch strategy that it's been going on for a couple of years now, basically driving traffic through many chatbots. So how is that different? What's your special formula on this?
Yeah. So, I mean, search, find, buy is still highly relevant. It's still very effective and works. I've been doing this since 2017, and it's kind of like fashion. What's old becomes new again, and two-step URLs was something that we used a lot even up to 2020, using two-step URLs basically, is like a really great way to drive traffic. It's traditionally not as effective as search, find, buy. But what's been interesting, we recently have seen a lot of energy around Google, traffic driven from Google to Amazon. And Amazon's highly rewarding that traffic, so much so that it's really easy to rank with traffic appearing to come from Google. So what we built into EasyBot is a Google redirect URL that basically gives you the power to take any traffic, whether it's from Facebook or your email list, your Instagram audience, an Instagram influencer, but any traffic driven through the EasyBot URL basically makes the traffic appear as if it's coming from Google and gives you that significant ranking benefit. Now, inside of EasyBot, your campaigns can be set up to be either search, find, buy, or utilize the Google the EasyBot URL with the Google redirect. So both strategies are available inside of EasyBot, and it's not to say that search, find, buy is less effective, but two-step URLs provide for a better user experience. The subscriber clicks on the link and it takes them basically directly to your listing. They're not having to search around inside of Amazon, they can get confused, they can get distracted, they can go buy something else, they could buy the wrong product, right? Which affects your conversion, your costs, all that fun stuff. So it's a better user experience and it's getting you better results from ranking. Use the URL. Bottom line, it's better for the subscriber. It's better for you for ranking, makes your life easier. And what's crazy, the craziest thing that we're seeing, when you're doing your keyword research, it used to be that you would kind of shy away from the larger search terms because of the cost in the amount of units that you would have to give away in the form of rebates, giveaways, those kinds of things. With the URL, let's say that it's a search term that has 100,000 monthly searches, big old search term. Traditionally, you would have to be giving 50 to 75 units a day, sales, number of rebates to rank for that kind of search term. We are ranking for those types of search terms using the EasyBot URL with less than 5 rebates per day.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, it's significant. So it's definitely one of those things that I'm saying, listen, search, find, buy is still valid, but for the time being, use the EasyBot URL to get these kind of results because it's just crazy the kind of results that we're seeing for so cheap. And we don't know when and if Amazon's going to change their relationship with Google and how they value that kind of traffic. But basically what we're getting at and what we're seeing is that Amazon is not expecting Google traffic to convert as well as maybe somebody going and literally typing in, doing a search, find, buy, and that kind of a thing. And so it's rewarding traffic, not just sales.
Very interesting. You're saying so it's a kind of a comeback of the two-step URL, but it's a different kind of.
Oh, it's very different. Yeah.
So
it's not the same URL that we've had 4 years ago, but it still is. For the time being, guys, get it while the getting's hot, while the getting's good.
Awesome. Here. So let's understand better this part of the process. So it's not a rebate. What kind of
it is a rebate.
It is also a rebate.
It still is a rebate, but you also, because the conversions are so good, and the ranking benefit is so high, you don't have to have as many conversions. You can play around with, the traditional rebate offer is 100% off, right? It's high value, though, it's it gets people attention, those types of things. But because you don't need as many conversions, you can play around with different offer structures. And inside of EasyBot, we give you that kind of control where you can say, okay, I want this to be a 50% rebate instead of 100% rebate, or 75 or 60. You can really kind of play around with the rebate percentage and the rebate offer instead of always having to do 100%.
Got it. Okay. So you're saying that the main difference between, let's say, somebody who already launched their product through a search, find, buy offer using, for example, Facebook ads that leads to a ManyChat bot that then drives the customer to Amazon. Here, the difference is that the use of the URL, right? So that's kind of the key of the formula here, correct?
Yeah. You still get good results with search, find, buy, but we are currently getting better results with the URL. But if people are like super nervous and super worried about, Amazon, like finding out that they're running ranking campaigns, search, find, buy is still kind of like the safest, the easiest from your point to implement. So it still is a relevant strategy. We're just seeing so much better results using the EasyBot URL.
Got it. Okay. So what's the experience the customer goes through? So they see an ad, right? So it's very similar to let's say a normal ManyChat campaign. So what can you walk us through the experience of the customer? So they see the ad and what kind of offer they see and what the bot tell them to do.
Yeah, the bot is pretty straightforward. It just basically says, it vets them. Like our system, we've scripted and crafted our flows to be very high converting. But basically, we're making sure that we have different things in place to protect you, the user. We have different fraud lists that we check the user against. We also have a number of sales restrictions. So if you're only wanting like 5 sales a day, we're only allowing certain amount of people into the flow at a time to protect you, so that we're not overselling inventory and things like that. Or let's say that your ad is really attractive and gets put into some sort of deal group on Facebook. We want to make sure that if your campaigns go viral, that you're protected. So the user experience is they click on the ad, the system captures information from them and checks them against the blacklist. And then the system checks the number of sales per day. And if we've maxed out on either the amount of people in the flow or that we've hit our max number of sales per day, then the system sends people to what we call the sellout loop, where we just basically say, hey, we're all out of stock today. Let's capture your SMS information and we'll text you tomorrow when more is available, basically. And the system will automatically do that for you. Then the user experience, if they are able to get the offer, basically, if it's a search, find, buy, it sends them search, find, buy instructions. Type in these keywords, go search, look for this image, look for this listing, go and buy it. That kind of a thing. If you're using the URL, basically is like, hey, click below, go get it now. That kind of a thing. It takes them to your Amazon listing. So those are the user experiences after they purchase the product. Then they have to go through the order verification process and all of that works automatically.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So the strategy that Michelle just mentioned right now, so it uses basically a different URL that is kind of proprietary, developed by EasyBot, right? So basically, yeah. So you guys know, many of you might know already the strategy of driving external traffic to a ManyChat bot and then driving it to through a search, find, buy to an Amazon listing. Or here we Michelle actually found through her experiments that this special URL, new URL developed by their company, it really works better because Amazon now values more Google traffic, right? So this URL basically simulates like if a customer comes from Google research, right?
Correct.
So perfect. So then, so basically, people will be able to how can people implement this like in a second? Because I know you guys have like already scripted flows that people can use. So how can people get advantage of that? Because I guess many would like to prepare for Q4 and Q5. So how can they do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to understand that EasyBot sits on top of ManyChat. So ManyChat is like the MailChimp of chat marketing. You know, they make it really easy to do chat marketing, but it's really a tool for any type of business to do anything that they want, right? EasyBot is specific to Amazon style campaigns. We have product insert campaigns. We have these rebate flows. We have other campaigns and e-commerce style campaigns coming soon. And essentially, EasyBot sits on top of ManyChat and makes the installation process very easy. All you have to do is install the ManyChat template and then go back inside of EasyBot to basically fill out a few campaign parameters, product name, how many sales per day, keywords, keyword URLs, you know, like those kinds of things, and plug that data into your campaign parameters area inside of EasyBot. We have step-by-step videos to talk you through like how to do all of that. But basically, once that campaign is installed and set up, then you just have to drive traffic with Facebook ads. And we have a whole Facebook ads course for you inside of EasyBot. You can even without being a member, you can go to help.easybot.com and you can see our knowledge base, all the instructions I have for you and available in our Facebook ads course, you know, copy templates, image templates, you know, everything to be able to easily drive traffic from Facebook. So we're trying to make this as easy as possible to be able to use chatbots and chat marketing for your ranking and launching and review campaigns.
Awesome. Okay, sounds great. So actually, I'm very interested, and I look forward to try it also for myself. So guys, to summarize what we've just said, so you start obviously like in any ranking campaign to do keyword research, right? You can find the keywords that are most suitable for your product and more relevant. And now before Q4 and Q5, as we mentioned, you can look for gifting keywords that could give you really a boost. It can give you an advantage from your competitors because probably most of them are not going to really target those keywords. And then you can use, obviously, we mentioned the same old but still working search find buy method. Or if you're lazy like I am, you can use a system like EasyBot, what Michelle just told us to basically, you know, set it up and make it run it for you, and using this new special URL that I'm really excited to try in this before Q4 hockey stick kind of search volume that is gonna start. So I need to prepare very soon. All right, so that's great. And last thing, how people can sign up if they would like to try.
Yeah, we have a $1 14-day trial. So guys, I mean, you can run an entire ranking campaign during the trial. So I would just go to easybot.com. I'm sure we'll post the link here and you guys can take a look at it. It's a $1 trial, like I said. And to your point, Gianmarco, like, yeah, this is the time to get this done. But even if some of you are like, oh, my inventory is sitting in LA Harbor, like, what do I do if it gets in November 20th? You know, like with these campaigns, we're seeing ranking happen very quickly, like sometimes within 3 days, shooting up to the top of page 1. So like, it's better to try and to get it out there and get it up than to have to pay exorbitant PPC costs or just not try at all, right? Like give it a shot, even if it's right before Black Friday, or even give it a shot while you're in the midst of it. It's better late than never. That's something to consider as well. But now really is, if you have inventory in hand, now is the time to get these campaigns up and running and get yourself positioned for that Q4 jump in sales.
Sounds great. So thank you very much, Michelle, for sharing this powerful technique with us. And by the way, guys, you can find a presentation of what Michelle just mentioned with much more, actually, going through this process and the keyword research methods that we just mentioned. You can find you can download this presentation in the show notes, in the show notes of the episode at thesellerprocess.com. So go to our website to download this presentation, and you can find there as well the links to sign up if you're interested in trying this new method. So guys, as always, remember, in order to we don't, sorry, just my favorite, I wanted to quote my favorite quote that I almost forgot. So that is, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. So a shame of me, I almost forgot my favorite quote. So guys, remember that. And I really now start implementing this strategy if you're interested, or just start preparing yourself for Q4 success before it's too late. All right, thank you, Michelle, again for sharing these tips, and you guys have a very productive week. Hey entrepreneurs, I hope you enjoyed the show and learned something from the interview. Subscribe to this channel so you won't miss the next episodes, and remember to go grab the free downloads of this episode at thesellerprocess.com. And don't forget to sign up to our free email list to get the latest systems and SOPs shared exclusively with our subscribers. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.